Hi everybody, and welcome to Follow Up Friday. This time we've had the same kind of question from 3 different people, and so I've meshed that question down into one, and I'm going to try to answer it here for you. The question is, how do you reinforce boundaries when they keep getting crossed? So we're continuing in the boundaries discussion. What do you do when someone keeps crossing the boundaries and they just don't respect them? This is what we're going to try to answer today. So what you have to do, my experience has been that you have to just keep repeating the boundary to the person that is the offender. Just keep getting clearer. Don't compromise. You don't have to keep explaining. Don't have to keep apologizing. You just have to start acting, drawing lines. You know, when I showed you the picture of the fence in an earlier video, you wouldn't allow your neighbors to keep, destroying your fence and hopping over and doing whatever they want. And it's the same with other people. So if the neighbor keeps hopping over the fence, you keep fixing the fence or trying to put the boundary back up. Eventually, you're going to have to either put some barbed wire up, or you're going to have to call for backup, like the police. So if other people keep busting your boundary or not respecting it, then you have to just stop explaining this to them. You have to start enforcing the boundary. So when they do this to you, they're not confused about the boundary. They're hoping you'll fold and give up and just let them do what they want to do to you. So instead of, I wish you'd stop doing that, it makes me uncomfortable, you then have to say, I've told you not to do that. If it happens again, I'm leaving the conversation. And second, drop the guilt, repeat the boundary. So people who are not respecting your boundaries are trying to make you feel bad. Say, I've already answered this, my answer hasn't changed, or I'm not going to have this conversation again. Repeat, 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 like a wall or a fence. And number 3, let your actions back up your words. You can't just say a boundary, you have to show it. That means hang up the phone, leave the room, block the number, cancel the visit, end the chat. People learn what they can get away with. Let them learn that you mean what you say. And number 4, simply have to withdraw access. So you don't have to cut people off forever, but you can cut off their access to your peace. You can say, I'm not available for this kind of conversation. We're not going to talk about this until something changes. Sometimes the only way to reset a boundary is to step away entirely for a while, maybe even forever. Recognize that you don't owe anyone a debate. Boundaries are not invitations for negotiation. A person who loves and respects you will hear your boundary and honor it, even if they don't like it. And someone who keeps testing your boundary is telling you they care more about control than they do about you or connection with you. So let me tell you some of the stories I've heard from viewers that is happening with them regarding boundaries. One of the viewers has family members that want to call them frequently, and it almost always ends up in political heated debates or discussion, not really discussion, debates. And this makes the person very uncomfortable. They don't want to talk about political things. And they've told these people no more political debates on the phone or in person. But they continue to bring up, like they'll be good at first and not bring up political debates, but then eventually they'll try it again, political debates, when they've already been told not to do this. Well, I'm afraid that if they're not going to listen to you, then you're just going to have to say to them, if you bring up any more political debates, I'm hanging up the phone, or I'm leaving the house or apartment or wherever it is. Sometimes you just have to walk away. You've got to hang up. So I hope that you will try that. I know it's painful, uncomfortable, but sometimes that's what you have to do to get your own peace back. So, and the next one is a person who has someone that likes to call them daily and do some emotional dumping. They have a problem here, they've got a problem there, they call them at work, they call them at home. They're just emotionally dumping on them, like you're supposed to be a therapist, but you aren't. You can have a listening ear, but not every day during work or maybe during a family activity. You're not supposed to have to put up with that. And this person put up with that over and over and over for years. And so now what the person is planning to do is tell them once more the boundary of, I'm not available for this right now. Let's make a different time. Don't call me every day with this stuff. Maybe once a week is good enough. And if they still break the boundary, you're going to have to cut them off. You're going to have to say, if this keeps happening, I'm afraid I'm going to have to hang up the phone and you will have to contact me some other way, except not in person, not on the phone, maybe email is about the only way that it can happen. And so try that, let me know how it goes. And the last one is about me. Yes, I'm admitting I cross a boundary of someone that I love. That's my husband. And what happens is when we're in discussions, quite a few times I will cut him off in the mid-sentence. And what's going on is I don't really realize I'm doing that, because I was brought up in a family where interrupting and cutoffs were just normal. This is what we did. We all talked fast. We all would cut each other off at certain points because we had something to say on the subject. So cutting people off and interrupting people was normalized. And in my husband's family, this isn't normal. It's considered rude. I think quite a lot of people consider that rude. So it's something I've been trying to learn how to curb. It's not easy because, number one, I don't have the greatest memory in the world. So if there's a point being made by my husband that I want to comment on, I'm afraid I'm going to forget what I'm about to say. So I'll often jump in and say, but this is what's, those kinds of cutoffs. And it doesn't go over well. In fact, he'll stop talking to me if that happens, or he might walk away because he considers it very rude and disrespectful. And I get that. And so my memory isn't great. I was raised in a family that this is what was normal. And I don't really realize I'm doing it. I've never been taught that kind of rule, to wait your turn. So I started journaling about it, and I came up with a few ways that I can fix this problem for me. It looks like I may have to use a notepad and write things down that he's saying, where then I can respond later when he's done talking. But I kind of consider that could be rude. Maybe I'm writing and he's talking and it feels distracting maybe to him. So I'm not sure I can do that. The other thing is, if there's a pause, count to 3 before I say anything. Maybe he would be done. I know he likes to pause quite long before he moves on with speaking, and I'm not used to that. I'm not used to the silence. So maybe if I count before I say anything, that might work. Maybe we could share signals is what I'm trying to say. Like put a finger up if there's something I want to say, or maybe a timeout. Maybe that could work. I don't know. We can try that. And not to be too hard on myself anymore when I do that, because I feel really bad if I upset him such that he walks out of the room or just stops talking to me. That's not what I want. So I have to hold back, maybe write things down, maybe give him a signal, something like that. And once we get into that rhythm of practicing back and forth, what he's used to and what I'm used to, hopefully we can meet somewhere in the middle. So that's it for today's questions, or question, I should say. And what we can try to do to strengthen boundaries, maybe with partners and family members and friends. And so I hope that was helpful. I hope I answered the questions for you, that you might be able to glean something from it, and also from my experience. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and check in the description box for any links I might have. And we'll see you next time on Sunday. Thank you. Bye.